What is the importance of Darwin in these days?
First, Darwin's basic theory, both his theory of natural selection and also sexual selection, the evolution of complex structures, they are the underlying theme of all biology today, in fact. How Darwin matters to the world at large? I can think of two very big areas. One is medicine. I have to tell you that bacteria have many more generations per 10 years than humans do, right? Well, bacteria, pathogens, diseases can therefore evolve faster than we can. And in fact, hospitals are one of the biggest sources of Darwinian selection around. If you want to catch resistant staphylococcus or resistant streptococcus, go to a hospital. We clean everything. That means only the 5% of most resistant bacteria survive. And guess who is there to invade your body when you go to the hospital?
The most resistant bacteria.
The most resistant bacteria. Similarly, in conservation biology, we are doing many things that we don't realize that will result in a lot of extinctions. It's one thing when we killed all the passenger pigeons in North America. But today we are doing things like changing the temperature of the earth. And this is perhaps a funny example, but turtles. Turtles do not have genetically determined sex. Whether you're a boy or a girl turtle depends on what temperature you were when you were an egg. And this is a very, very narrow, tiny range, 1.5 degrees centigrade. Cooler than that, you're all one sex. Warmer than that, you're all the other sex. There are complications, but that's the basic pattern. As we warm the earth in 25, 30 years, 2/3 of the world's turtles will be all male or all female. Now, if you don't care about turtles, you may not care about that, but turtles are important in many ecosystems, and we will cause their extinction.
Well, that's terrifying.
It is terrifying. We do other things too. There's a recent scientific paper suggesting that throughout much of our evolutionary history, and certainly today, humans are the most efficient predator in the world. And we cause more, we're more efficient than marlin or tuna fish or wolves or you name it.
Darwin has been misunderstood in many senses. What can you advise to people who misunderstand Darwin?
I'm not sure I could advise people who are certain about and who misunderstand Darwin, but for anyone who's puzzled, I would say it's important to read the real literature. It's interesting because Darwin, he was almost made ill by what he was discovering, by the fact that all his facts, all the things he was observing, led to the conclusion that there was a natural selection and that all species are related to each other. This was terrifying for him. He was a religious, highly moral man, and this was against the teachings of the day. And if you read Darwin, you find later he expresses great hope that as we become more mindful and more moral, that many problems will disappear. He had hope. But he was widely misunderstood. He was very clear, for example, when he spoke about natural selection, that I should speak about competition, not as between two predators fighting each other, but as a plant might struggle for existence at the edge of a desert to get enough water. So when he talked about the struggle for existence, he was not talking about the nature red in tooth and claw that some people misunderstood him to say.
Well, thank you very much, Dr. Lowe, for sharing these thoughts with us, and thank you very much.
My pleasure.